My name is Daniel Heinke. I'm a Lieutenant Colonel, Armed Forces Reserve with the German Bundeswehr, and I'm currently affiliated with the Marshall Center. I'm pretty proud of that. My civilian duties include Chief of Detectives with the Bremen State Police, Bremen, Germany. I was very interested in researching terrorism and especially Islamist terrorism due to my current civilian duties, which included the counterterrorism coordinator for the State Ministry of the Interior and my academic interest in this topic. Over the course of several years, security agencies had difficulties to really profile foreign terrorist fighters. So German security agencies did a pretty good job in carrying out research and putting together all the information we got for over 670 foreign fighters who left for Syria and pictured together what they found out. To find a foreign fighter in a homegrown situation is pretty difficult. You have to listen to the community. You have to find indications that someone is going to leave, that perhaps he opened up to his family or his friends. And sometimes, of course, we have covert operations going on, and so we are able to realize that someone is going to leave for Syria. Why someone is leaving to fight for a terrorist organization isn't entirely clear. Most academics think that the radicalization process is, or can be described as sort of several phases. Most importantly, it starts with serious grievances about the personal situation. Those can be linked to the personal situation or can be perceived grievances about their ethnic, cultural or social situation. What makes a typical terrorist? That is exactly what German security agencies and what I try to find out. And it's quite obvious that there is no typical terrorist, no typical foreign terrorist fighter, that they have various ethnic, gender, social and educational backgrounds, so that there is no possibility at all to find a demographic profile of the terrorist. I think most Western governments agree on this finding that there is no typical profile. We are in exchange with our partners in Western European countries and the United States and are exchanging all the information we get. Actually, it was the New York City Police Department who did some very groundbreaking research in the early 2000s. In the European Union in general and in Germany especially, we have a very serious threat by jihadism. That is composed by homegrown terrorists, by returning terrorists who joined ISIS or other terrorist organizations, by the threat of infiltrating terrorists sent by ISIS. So there are various approaches for those terrorist organizations to do harm, and we're trying to counter them. Some people perceive that among the refugees who came to Europe, there are several terrorists hidden. Actually, I don't think so. Most probably there are some individuals hiding in there, the Islamic State or other organizations using these moving masses as a cover, but it is not a real big problem. It's an individual problem and we have to do our best to identify those persons. To counter radicalization, one has to make very clear that this is not only a law enforcement or an intelligence approach, that we have to pursue a whole-of-government approach, that we have to address real or perceived social issues, that we have to educate people in a better way, and that we have to help them overcome their grievances they really have. Well, you see, given the recent development, where we really do have a blind spot yet, is we have to face the threat that emanates from little children who had been brought to Syria and Iraq, who witnessed many atrocities, who grew up in these circumstances and at some point of their life will return to Western Europe. They experienced nothing but war, nothing but atrocities, nothing but the Islamic State. And how to reintegrate or even integrate these children into society will be a major challenge which we have to face. Research is important in that domestic intelligence and law enforcement agencies face the challenge how to identify those people. And once we get to know what people moves, what motivates them, we have a chance to counter that. I think we covered pretty much all the bases, but what is really important and which we are getting better from month to month is international cooperation. Intelligence sharing is key in this context, not only on the European level, but on the international level as well. The Marshall Center does a terrific job in providing a platform for exchange on this topic for many, many countries, both in the European setting with the United States of America, but with other partners as well. It enhances the communication between military, foreign area offices, foreign services, but also law enforcement, domestic intelligence, which is pretty rare and should be enhanced.